This thing pointed the wrong way. Let me switch this thing around. There we go. All right. All right, we back, y'all, and stuff. I had to set this thing back up again and stuff. Hopefully, I don't get nobody else to call and interrupt. So, I call myself waiting till it get late and stuff, man. So, like I said, it's just it never fails, man. I go live. Anytime I go live, right? Anytime I go live. What I do before I go live, if I know that my schedule is clean and I'm not gonna expect another phone call or stuff from anybody, I can go live. I can go live and stuff. That's why I usually try to take care of everything and stuff during the weekend, right? You know, when I know no one's gonna call or whatever and stuff. I ain't gotta worry about, last minute brokers or dispatch or whatever calling and stuff like that. But and I let everybody know. I said, listen, I'm going live. I'm going to need this amount of time. And it never fails. It's like I go live and it's just something that they got to ask me. And it's not even, it's something that could have waited. It's just something that could have waited. It's the same thing like when I do, that's why I really can't do counseling or whatever stuff. Like, I used to tell people, hey, listen, if you have any questions, comments, whatever stuff, like, just give me a call, right? And as long as it's about trucking, we'll go ahead and we'll go and cover it. I can't do that either. I can't do it either and stuff. It's like people will text, they'll say, okay, listen, Rooster, I'm gonna call you at such and such time and stuff, and say, all right, cool. I get everything set up, right? And just when I get to talking and stuff and I start breaking down things, the phone just goes off. I mean, the phone, it's constantly going off and stuff, man. I got to stop what I'm talking about to deal with this matter, because I feel like if you call me right, then it's got to be something important, especially if I put it out there and stuff that what I'm doing. So I figure, okay, must be an emergency, and it's not. It's just, okay, well, listen, I just wanted to talk about this right here. So, all right, cool. And once everything is done, the phone is silent for the most part. It's like I don't get phone calls until I'm either about to pump fuel, I'm about to go on a ship, or constantly need to get checked in, or I'm about to get something to eat. That's when the phone goes off. Every time. But I mean, I could be sitting there and stuff, man. I mean, driving for hours and like, man, I'm like begging, man, please somebody call me, man. I'm about to. If somebody don't call me, I'm liable to fall asleep behind the wheel and stuff, man. And I don't get. It's dead silence. So I mean, it's on purpose. It's on purpose, family. Make no mistake about it. It's on purpose. It's on purpose and stuff, man. So. Lone Mountain, they called. I made another payment with Lone Mountain and stuff, right? So Liz sent me the message, right? She says, I ain't got but 2 more payments and stuff on the truck. She said, you can pay the 1375, or you can pay the let's see, double will be what, 22. I think it's 22.25 and stuff. You can pay whichever one and stuff, man. I sent her that check for $13.75. I'm like, shoot, I don't get no reward for paying the truck off early. I don't get no reward for it and stuff, man. Y'all, it was 42 payments, and that's what you're gonna get, 42 payments every month on the 8th. And just like next month on the 8th, they'll get the last payment, Paul Pierce, like I said, Paul Pierce did it to himself. You don't, in this environment, right? In this environment, what's going on and stuff with men, that's a very dangerous game you playing, because he had 10 women, 10 of them. Paul Pierce's net worth is $70 million. $70 million. You got 10 women in there and stuff, and I guarantee you ain't now one of them got a contract with Paul Pierce. And Paul Pierce is married. So, you know, if he did it to get fired from ESPN and stuff, okay, I understand that. He was probably under contract with him and stuff like that. But you know, if he had a contract with the women to say, okay, look, I'm gonna go live on IG and stuff, right, and put this up here, and it's gonna piss a lot of people off and stuff, right? But hopefully they'll get me fired. They'll get me let go and stuff, right? You know, because maybe he underperforming or whatever and stuff like that. Whatever it may be. But you know, SportsCenter was paying him. SportsCenter was paying him he was making over $200,000 a month. He was making over $200,000 a month, probably more than that. But you know, I want to say that it's a chess move and stuff, but no, that's just not how men think. That's just not how men think and stuff, man. He just went, he did it, put it on up there and stuff. People seen it. He got terminated and stuff like that. And so, you rest assured that if it's not one of those 10 women, then somebody gonna come out and say, well, you know what, Paul Pierce did something with me inappropriately and stuff like that, you know, and they're gonna go get Gloria Allred. They're gonna go get Gloria Allred. You know, when they get Gloria Allred and stuff, man, that's it. You done. You done. Either you gonna have to come off on some money, or you gonna have to come off on some money. That's all to it. Anytime she get involved, the only person that Gloria Allred didn't get was Usher. He didn't get Usher and stuff, and that was because, you know, the woman kind of, you know, she was kind of, you know, that the chick that said that Usher gave her a STD. You know, she was all on these other platforms and stuff, you know, talking too much, and some wrong information got out there and everything, and that's what saved him. That's what saved him, Kai. He was on the chopping block, you know. He was on the chopping block. He ain't heard nothing else since. So, you know, I mean, again, that's just fall of man right there. But this is a very dangerous environment to be doing stuff like that. I mean, you know, hey, dude, you just keep it respectful. That's the thing there and stuff, man. Like, you know, any allegation can come out against you, and they ain't got to have no evidence. So you see, if we all know this, right, because we could just start naming men off and stuff, just one after another. So we know that the environment and stuff isn't safe. Then why would you put yourself out there and risk life and limb and risk your entire fortune and stuff for what? Sexual access. That don't make sense. But yeah, man, shoot. Lone Mountain wanted me to pay this truck off early and stuff, and no, it ain't. You get your last payment next month, and that's it. You don't get any kind of incentives or nothing like that. That's why I tell folk, like, man, you know, a lot of guys say, I want to go get a truck, but I want to pay the truck off early. Like, man, no, dude. If you got money to pay the truck off and stuff, man, look, take that money and you know, you can sit on it, but if you sitting on it, that's money that you can actually do something with, because the safe, you know, as long as you making that payment every month, that's the safety net. I mean, why be in a hurry to pay the truck off? It's like, you know, the truck is depreciating in value every day, no matter what you do to it. You know, unless you got a Peterbilt or a Kenworth. All right, Mr. Turner, what's up? Unless you got a Peterbilt or a Kenworth and stuff. I mean, I'm talking about like a 379 or a W900 is losing value every day, no matter what you put in it. So I mean, shoot, you already got the truck. That's the business. So I mean, don't be in no hurry to pay the truck off and stuff like that. I mean, hey, the finance is the finance. You got that secured and stuff, okay. And then you got the money and stuff behind it to pay it off early. Just think about, okay, well, this is other venues and stuff. I got the capital now. I can put it in other venues and stuff, man, to get other business and stuff going. Because you already straight. Long as you make that payment every month, create a safety net. Create a safety net for your business. But if you already got the capital, that's where you can take the money and start putting it in other places. You want to build residual income and stuff, okay, that's what you do. But just make your payment and stuff on time. That's it. That's all they require. So, there's no incentive for paying something off early. If you're going to go the finance route, there's no incentive of paying nothing off early unless they got something like 90-day same as cash, something like that. If they giving you the product and then they giving you 90 days to pay it off before the interest and stuff hit, then yeah, that's it. But if the interest is already up there, by the time you get the truck, then it don't serve a purpose to pay it off early. You saving what? You saving a couple, maybe a payment, maybe two payments or something like that. But long as you make that payment, I mean, it is what it is. Let's see, we all know all trucks break. Is there such a thing as a good truck? You got to make the truck good. You got to make the truck good. Because when you get the truck, it might not be up to you. It might not be up to your standard, to your specification. If you're talking about, trucks are gonna break down. You're right, they're gonna break down and stuff. But you got to make the truck good. Lone Mountain reports. They report to the credit bureau. They report to the credit bureau. That's why I'm saying, like, see, you gotta, when you understand financial literacy and stuff, right, then you understand that, well, see, I used to think that same thing, that, well, if you pay something off, right, then it's showing on your credit that you made a big purchase and you paid it off and stuff, right? So it should reflect good on your credit. That's not how credit works. See, credit wants you always, they want you always using credit. Because the worst type of credit you can have is no credit. The worst type of credit you can have is no credit. I never understood that either. I'm like, man, shoot, that's a day. I'd rather have no credit than bad credit. Nope. People with bad credit and stuff, man, they tend to get things and stuff more fast than somebody with no credit, because a person with bad credit, you got a history. And so you got a history and stuff, and with that history, they got an understanding that, well, things happen, right? Things happen, recessions, we just had this thing with COVID, so people are understanding more so than most, but see, when you don't have that literacy and stuff, you thinking from a perspective of, okay, like how it is in the streets. Somebody owe you some money and then they don't pay you. Okay, well, yeah, his credit is bad, which means he can't come to you no more and stuff. You can't see him anywhere or whatever, but see, the streets work a lot different. You see what I'm saying? Cause the repercussion on the street is that if somebody doesn't pay you, then see, you got to go and put hands on them, right? And find ways and stuff for getting that compensation. With the credit, it ain't like that. With the system, it's not like that and stuff. Once you in there, they don't have to, that's why they're not sending people no more and stuff to break your legs and your arms and all that other stuff like they used to back in the day. if credit was extended to you. They don't do that now. They already got, so okay, well, you know, you're gonna have, they know you're gonna have to come to them again because you don't understand financial literacy and stuff, but then there are things you're gonna want to own, right? They're always advertising brand new cars and stuff, like, you know, brand new cars, new houses, going on vacations, all these things there and stuff, right? And so, you know, it's going to have to make you step up. So they saying, well, okay, you screwed up, so we're going to have to get you, we can finance you and stuff, right? But you got a high risk loan now. You got a high risk loan there and stuff. And so, you know, prime is, you know, you look at the lease program. You look at the lease program. A lot of people are in the lease thinking that they can't own a truck. The only way that they can own a truck is if they go through a lease program where they're not asking no money down, right? No credit check. Just sign on the dotted line and get you a truck. Not even knowing and stuff, man, that your credit is actually good enough for you to go over there, own the lot, and get you a piece of equipment. What you don't understand is that, okay, what are all the other things that's involved with it? Because any loan that you get has got to be a presentation to say, well, if I loan you this money, right? If I loan you this money, or if I give you this product, then whatever we got set up and stuff like that, I'm going to get my money. Because that's what I had to do with Lone Mountain. I'm like, you know, I'm not financing, you know, once the truck paid off, that's it. I'm not financing. I don't have anything else and stuff under me. I don't have anything else under me and stuff. So, you know, and it was like that. It was like that before I went and got this truck. So, you know, a long time ago, yeah, banks are always giving out loans. Banks are always giving out loans and stuff. You know, the problem is the presentation. It's the presentation. If you don't understand financial literacy and stuff, right, then what you're gonna do, basically, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna apply for a loan, and they're gonna deny you because they don't feel that your presentation is confident enough and stuff to where they're going to be able to get their money. So your presentation has to be on point and stuff. You learn that through your financial literacy classes and stuff, you know, the classes that people don't want to go to. They want to get all the free stuff. And so, you know, those things that people don't want to sit through. They don't want to sit through them and stuff. They want to get it the fast way, the quick way, and that's not how it is. You know, if you want to understand how to get business loans and stuff, then you got to go to classes that teach you financial literacy. And once you understand financial literacy and stuff, then when you go to the banks, you're speaking a bank language. You can't just speak your language, you know. You got to speak the language of the banks to secure that bread. Which goes back to what I was saying and stuff. I like, see, women, right? A lot of women and stuff like that. See, they understand financial literacy a lot more than men. They know the language to speak and stuff. That's why a lot of loans and stuff that they don't get denied nothing. And the only stuff that women are like really in debt with is student loans, and that's because when they figure out a way, just like everything else, right? Everything else that's dealing with business, when they got the person that's in, you know, the political person that's in there, and they beating, you know, they in there discussing this stuff now. So, you know, sooner or later, student loans and stuff, man, they're just gonna be, you know, student loans and stuff, man, they're just gonna be another thing by the wayside and stuff that's gonna be paid off. They're collectively coming together and stuff, man. I mean, you know, it's like when you hear, like, you know, okay, what's the policy? What's the number one policy that they want to be working on? Oh, well, we need to do something about student loan debt. We need to do something about student loan debt. They constantly and consistently beat the drum of student loan debt and stuff. And so, you know, they're having more and more talks and stuff. Now they're saying, okay, well, if you're going to be in this position, then how do you feel about this and stuff? And so, that's why they went, when Joe Biden needed, and I don't want to turn this thing into a political masquerade or whatever, but when they asked who would be a good vice presidential candidacy, they chose Kamala Harris over Stacey Abrams. Because of Kamala Harris' constant endorsement of HBCUs. And so she was the better choice and stuff. Everybody looked at that and stuff. And so that's the first thing they say. Okay, well, why you like Kamala Harris so much and stuff? Because, because she's a recipient from an HBCU. Ask anybody. Why do you like Kamala Harris so much and stuff? And they'll always say that right there. So now they got somebody in there, and that's been the talk. That's been the talk and stuff. And so, if they know couldn't nothing be done about it and stuff, they would have went on here and paid them student loans off and stuff a long time ago. They would have paid them off a long time ago. Because in 5 years of being in this business and stuff, right? 3 trucks, 3 trailers. I got $157,000. I got $157,000 and stuff, man, between the 3 trucks and 3 trailers. That's just in payments. We ain't talking about repairs and all that stuff there. So, in 5 years, I got mine taken care of. So the whole purpose of getting an education is so that you get into that field. And that field that you're getting into and stuff, right, it's supposed to be paying the money. It's supposed to be paying the money and stuff for what you borrow. Just like getting a CDL, you go to school, they want $12,000, $13,000. Or, okay, we'll make a deal with you. Come over here and work for us for a year. We'll pay your tuition or whatever and stuff like that, Because CDL ain't cheap. But they know you're going to make the money back. They know you're going to make the money back and stuff, man. What you got to go to school for 1 month to learn how to drive a truck and all that stuff there. But then when you look at all the overhead that's involved in it, I'm like, shoot, those schools making a killing. They making a killing and stuff, man, Because they understand the business. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, that's what it means. That's what it means to build a truck. That's what it means to build a truck and stuff, man. You build one, if it's gonna be built right, and stuff, but in the process of learning things, some stuff you're gonna wind up, you could have got it a lot more cheaper and stuff, if you knew exactly what to look for, Cause see, I mean, people will say, "Oh well, my truck need a rebuild and stuff." First thing, well, I'm going to the dealership and let them do it. I'm going to the dealership and let them do it and stuff. And then they say, okay, well, yeah, we're going to rebuild your truck and stuff with these parts right here and those parts and stuff. And, and you got this type of warranty, whatever and stuff. And then you come, after everything's said and done, you got everything's said and done, you got about $30,000 in the rebuild. But then when you start to do the science behind the rebuild and stuff, and so you find they say, well, what kind of parts did you use? Well, we use OEM parts and stuff. And so like, well, what's OEM? So you start looking at OEM, and then you start looking at the science behind OEM, and then you find out that it's no such thing as OEM. They got what's called OEM specified, right? OEM spec, which means that, you know, some company went out here and stuff. First of all, the company came in, they bought the schematics from the manufacturer, and then they produced the product. They produced the product and stuff. They produced it and stuff, you know, at a way that's more efficient. I don't know, and see, that's a good question, cause I don't think it's the injectors, to be honest with you. You know, people, yeah, they having problem with injectors and stuff. I don't know, because injectors, man, injectors done came a long way. Injectors came a long way and stuff. And so if a person is saying that they having injector problems and stuff, man, I would have to question the people who's telling them and stuff, man, that they're having injector issues. I'm telling you, injectors done came along, and I know, cause the injector, one of my injectors and stuff was bad in the in my other truck and stuff, that Freightliner Century class I had. One of the injectors was bad in there and stuff, man, and it never went. It was bad, but it never went out. I mean, the truck idle very poor, but it never went out. It never gave me a problem to where it just, you know, it just fizzled out or whatever. You know, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm starting to see that too and stuff, but it's just, you know, in order to mess up, I mean, you know, either your injector's gonna run, they're either gonna run too rich or they're gonna run too lean. And that usually, you know, people gonna have injector problems are usually like your pre-emission trucks. No, they don't have to take the heads off. No, they don't have to take the heads off and stuff. To get to your injectors, on the old truck and stuff, they take off the God, what's that thing called? They take the cover off, right? They take off your cover. And if you got Jake brakes and stuff, then they take your Jake brakes off and stuff, and then they take off your Jakes and stuff, and then that's where your injectors and stuff are, and then they pull the injectors out. They inspect, you know, they pull the injectors out and stuff, you know, they can clean them. You know, they can clean them, which what they usually do. They clean them and put new gaskets and stuff back in it, you know, new gaskets, new rings, and then they inspect your injector cups. They inspect your injector cups and stuff, and so, you know, if everything is stuff on the up and up, then they put the injectors back in. You know, they check your Jake brakes, make sure your Jakes and stuff good, and then that's that. You know, so usually, you know, in situations there, that's when people say like, all right, go ahead and give me a go ahead, since you're doing all that and stuff, go ahead and give me an overhead, right? Give me an overhead and stuff, which, you know, they checking your, you know, that's when they checking your springs and stuff inside your heads, you know, your valves and stuff like that. They adjust them, you know. But no, they don't have to take the head off for your injectors. No, they don't have to do that. I think it's because they run those new trucks at 80 miles an hour, plus those engines are not built for this, not built that stock. They are built for you to pass people at 80 miles an hour, but not cruise at this speed. Yeah, that can that, you know, that could be it too. That could be it too, cause you ain't kidding, man. A lot of these newer trucks aren't fast. I mean, you know, 435 and stuff, man. Like, the Facebook group I'm on, and stuff, right? Everybody's up there always talking about how can they get more power out of the DD15, and I'm telling them, like, dude, you're not gonna get any more power out of it. If it's whatever it came out stock with, that's what it's gonna be right now, guys. Nobody has the understanding yet and stuff on how to turn these things up. It's coming, but it's not. You still got a while. So I'm like, man, if you want horsepower, man, you might as well just go ahead and just get your 12.7 or 14.0 and just be done that way and stuff. If you need horsepower, but these trucks here, they just. I mean, they'll tote the note and stuff like that, but they just went to the, if people understand the difference between big truck and large car. They understand the difference between big truck and large car. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, All right, Richardson Carey, what's going on with you? Yeah, it's just, when they started putting the EGRs, in these diesel engines, it was the beginning of the end right there and stuff. The whole horsepower argument and stuff started going right out the window when they started putting them EGRs in. It was all about, well, really when diesel fuel got up to $2 a gallon back in what was that, 2004, wasn't it? Or was it 3? Yeah, in 2003, right? I'm sitting over here. Back in my days, Sonny. No, but in 2003, that was the first time that diesel fuel ever got up to $2 a gallon. In fact, nobody ever seen it. Like the signs and stuff, like they be posting how much diesel fuel costs. They net, the sign will go up to about $1 something. You get like $1.99, but anything over that, like the $2 mark, the $2 mark and stuff, man, like nobody thought that diesel fuel would get that high, but man, 2003, right, around let's see, was it not January? Yeah, February of 2003 and stuff. That's when diesel fuel hit $2 a gallon, and people was like, "What in the heck?" But that was the beginning of the end. That horsepower talk, man, that stuff was just out the window. They were like, "Man, look, we're gonna have to start governing these trucks and stuff back down. Like, let's see what all these these other guys and stuff and they doing. They started turning these trucks down and stuff. They was looking at your idling and stuff like that. Like, if you had high idle and stuff like that, you probably lost your job, right? But they was looking at that for the most part and stuff, and so everything that started coming out was more fuel efficient. Nobody was talking about that horsepower no more. Like, the own operators were the only ones and stuff that was talking about horsepower, and they stopped doing it. They stopped doing, like, man, look, hey, if I can get the truck about 6 miles to the gallon, I'm okay. Yeah, it's it's a series of stuff. The air filters, and then the older motors. A lot of your older motors and stuff. See, it was necessary if you wanted to get maximized fuel efficiency, then it was a good idea for you to go run an overhead on the truck. But that's when people knew how to run overheads on trucks and stuff. I mean, so, you know, if you kept that overhead up and stuff, man, you was all right. Well, I'm glad you're joining us and stuff, man. So I'm glad that you joined us and stuff. So, but yeah, people don't, you know, like the whole overhead thing now and stuff. You know, it's like I said, it's a lost science. Like people talking about, you know, you got a post emission truck talking about, okay, yeah, I'm about to go in a dealership and stuff and get an overhead done. The only thing you doing, you just giving them some money. That's it. You taking your truck in there. Yeah, you got a super tune. Yeah, see you can do the your pre-emission motors. You can do that and stuff, man. Anything, if you got a 07 post emission, then you can hang it up. You know, you can hang it up and stuff talking about you know, any kind of super tune, or you know, any kind of super tune and stuff, man, or increasing horsepower and all this stuff that, man, anything past, if you got a pre-emission, now you got a post-emission 07 motor, you just wasting your time going up there in that dealership time. Oh yeah, they're gonna run an overhead on the truck, right? Only thing you did, you just took your truck in there and just gave them a whole bunch of money. It takes a real deal mechanic to do a overhead. I'm talking a 20-year vet. Actually, an overhead is really not that difficult. Only thing you need to do is the only thing you got to do with the overhead, right, is just make sure that you got the torque, you know, your torque tools and stuff. Make sure that you got the make sure you torque it to spec. That's it. That's all you're doing with the overhead. Just making sure that everything is torqued to spec. If you got it torqued to spec, that thing, you know, it's like, you know, like people when they race car, you know, when people race cars and stuff, right? Every time they do a, you know, God, man, why I can't think tonight? I don't know what the world going on in my brain. Jeebus. But anytime you send the car down the track and stuff, right? Anytime you send the car down, you make a pass. All right, when you make a pass, right, you bring the car back in, and then what you do? You start tightening everything up to specification. So, especially if you did a good pass on it, you get all the data. You get all the data on this stuff, and then what you doing, you make it, okay, we got to get everything to specification on how we did it the first time. How do we have it torqued? How do we have you know, how we had everything torqued down, and then that's what you do to try to see if you can beat that time. To see if you can beat that time. It's the same thing with the truck and stuff. It's like, you know, the truck, if you want maximum performance out of it and stuff, then, you know, like people talking about the dyno and all this stuff, you can't take the truck to the dyno one time and then think, okay, yeah, that's what's going on with my truck. The dyno is only telling you based upon, you know, what the truck should be doing and where your truck is at now. And then you making an educated guess upon what's going on with your truck. And so you try to get that stuff on the part. Now, if you want your truck to run, like, you know, if you turn the power up in it and you want the power to stay up all the time and get that good fuel mileage and stuff to get the maximum efficiency out of the motor, then you got to take your truck to the dyno every week. You gotta take it every week. And you got some people that do that. You know, they got all the you know, they got all the dyno machines and stuff that's there. And so you take the printout and you see, okay, well, all right, this where the truck is lacking at right here and stuff. And so when you see where it's lacking at based upon last you know, if you went to the dyno last week and then you come in this week and you see where the performance and stuff is lacking, you can go right to it and you can fix it and be done with it. But you know, when you taking your truck to the dyno, right, to get everything checked out on it, the only thing they can go by and stuff is based upon what the truck is set at. All right, this is what it's supposed to do, and then the rest of the time you just throwing a whole bunch of parts at it, hoping that it fixed the problem. It's a continuous thing and stuff. And so when you race, it's the same thing. You know, they run a pass on it to see what the car is doing on the track, and then, you know, the other time, if they can't run a pass on it, then they throw it on the dyno. Okay, what's it doing on the dyno? All right. So what's it doing on the street? Well, what's it doing on the track? Then on the, you know, you get 2 printouts and stuff like that, and see, okay, what is it doing? What do we have to do to get maximum efficiency out of this motor? A lot of older truck engine fans stay on all the time. This is also used like 30% horsepower with burns. Yeah, you're right. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, to get, like I said, you know, to get maximum efficiency out of the motor has to run cool. You know, where your motor's never going to be, your motor's never going to be cold, right? But it's got to be cool to get that efficiency. And so, the engine fan is staying on and stuff, right? Because, you know, where they got it specified inside the ECM. So that's what it's doing and stuff there. But, you know, the ECM, once the ECM is set up, it said, okay, well, yeah, this where we got it set at right here and stuff to make sure that it gets maximum amount of, you know, we're going to get more fuel mileage, which means that we got to cut back on other stuff. So we'll risk the horsepower, right, to make sure that your truck is doing 7.5 to the gallon. Because, you know, horsepower ain't something that you need anymore. Well, horsepower ain't something you need anymore in a fleet truck. I'm gonna just put it that way. In a fleet truck, you don't need horsepower. You know. But yeah, that's what that is, Dan stuff, man. It's just it's a perfect balance of two, but it's a trade that's long gone there and stuff, because they created this motor that has maximum efficiency from the start. And they saying it's not gonna be a very powerful motor, but it's gonna be a very efficient motor. So they say, well, yeah, I'd rather have something efficient than to have something powerful, because I ain't driving the truck. I'm not driving it. As long as those printouts are coming out, they saying, well, look, the truck is getting, you know, we got the fleet set up at 7 miles to the gallon and stuff like that. And so, you know, the trucks are, you know, around 6'8", 6'9", stuff like that. So, you know, so yeah, I'll rock out with that and stuff, you know, even though, you know, kind of diesel fuel and stuff, like I said, now, you know, $3, and we looking at it like, oh, well, you know, okay. Okay, hold up. Let me see what you got. You need some shocks. Okay, you need some shocks and stuff. Let's see. You got a Cascadia, right? You got a Cascadia, right? If I'm not mistaken. Because if you got one and stuff, then, you know, if you got a Cascadia, then if the truck is doing it, okay, yeah, it's shaking, yeah. So if it's doing any kind of shaking whatsoever, if you driving the truck and stuff, man, and you just hear something just a little bit, like, you know, any little bit of shaking and stuff, yeah, One of your shocks is gone. Yeah, you right. They do. Yeah, they do get over on you, man. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing and stuff, man, like shoot, ain't nothing worse than going. You go in the shop and you misdiagnose your truck. Oh, they about man. And nothing on the truck is more misdiagnosed than that daggone emissions. They love it. They love it. When you misdiagnose that emissions, man, they love it to death. Cause boy, they about to stick it to you. But yeah, Richards and Curry, yeah, your go ahead and get all your, get all your shocks and stuff changed and stuff, including the one on the cab. Get all them changed and stuff, so the sooner the better. And once you get that done and stuff, you probably gonna need alignment. If your shock's gone, then your alignment's probably gone too. So that's the next thing. But get your shocks first. Yep, get all your shocks and stuff first. Then go get your alignment. Well, it's something that we all got to learn, right? Cause when you buy a truck, right? When you buy a truck and stuff, this is something I learned recently myself. If you anytime you buy a truck, what they do is they always paint the chassis. They always paint the chassis and stuff. That's the telltale sign that you're gonna need shocks, guys. When they paint the chassis, they gonna paint the shocks and the brakes. They gonna paint the shocks and the brake. Everything that's under there. The only thing that they gonna cover up, is the brake chambers. Maybe. They maybe cover the brake chamber. Anything else and stuff, they're gonna have black paint on them. So if they got paint on it, then they're gonna wash the truck. So when they wash it, you ain't gonna know that the shocks and stuff are bad. They're gonna paint it, they're gonna wash it, and then they're gonna put out there on the lot and stuff. And so of course, when you driving the truck, you bobtailing, so you ain't getting the real feel of it and stuff like that. But anytime you buy a truck, if you see that chassis been painted and you want that truck, tell them to go and change the shocks on it. Get them all changed. The shocks don't cost much. Yeah. They're gonna be a nice shade of black. And so first thing you thinking like, okay, well, ain't nothing wrong with it, cause they paint it, they clean the truck, and your shock is bad because it leaks gas out. That's the telltale sign that, your gas gonna leak out. That's number one. Or the shock is gonna get real hot to the touch. When it's real hot to the touch and stuff, that's when you got a bad shock. But see, you ain't gonna know because the truck is at the dealership and you ain't gonna drive it long enough for it to get hot. So, you bobtailing, you taking the truck wherever and stuff like that, then you start, when you get hooked up to a trailer and stuff like that, then, that's when you start feeling it. Like, man, wait a minute, something ain't right. But yeah. That's what it is, though, man. They take these trucks and stuff, man, and paint them up. Let's see what you got. That's what I did when I got my Columbia. I changed all my shocks and tire alignment with 2 new steers. Yeah. Let's see. What do you mean the gas will leak out? Okay, your shocks have gas inside of it. All your shocks have gas, and so what happens over time and stuff is that when they your shocks is absorbing everything on the road. So when they go bad and stuff, it's gas inside, it leaks out. And so when it leaks out and you look at one of the shocks, it look like, you just see like fluid and stuff on it. All right, I tell you what. Go on my Instagram page, right? Go on my Instagram page, Red Rooster 20, Red Rooster, or you can just Google it. You know, you can Google bad shock and stuff. But if you want to see a definition of a bad shock, go on my Instagram page, Red Rooster 22, on Instagram, and when I got the shocks changed on the truck and stuff, when you see my old ones, when you see my, I'll tell that. When you see my old ones and stuff, right, you'll see, you know, that's a real good example. That's a real good example. See, my thing is, like, you know, D roads up here in the Northeast and stuff, man, you know, like, they wreak havoc on shocks and stuff, man. You probably gonna go through some shocks probably about every 6 months up here. That's how bad these roads are and stuff. And so, if you hit a bad enough bump, up here and stuff, man, your the gas will leak out on it. But yeah, that's how your shocks and stuff work. Cause the gas that's inside of it and stuff, right? It keeps the springs, it keeps the metal from expanding. Cause heat makes your metal expand. And that's what you don't want it to do and stuff, right? When it expands. But see, when the gas and stuff done leaked out, there's nothing really to, you know, cool it. That's why it's hot to the touch. You know, you've been driving on long enough, it's real hot to the touch and stuff. So, you know, that's how you know your shock bad. Because the gas and stuff leaked out. Yeah, but these Freightliners and stuff, man, these Freightliners are notorious. They are notorious and stuff, man, for shocks and alignments. You're gonna be going through a mess load of shocks, a mess load of alignments. Okay, you got new steers and singles. It's just bumpy. Okay, well, yeah, you gotta